Howdy, howdy. I wanted to make a little video just to show you one way of getting a good stitch on Fazelle. So I have some thread right here. This is, make sure I tell you properly, Coats & Clark upholstery fabric, or upholstery thread rather. Coats & Clark upholstery thread, 150 yards. I like this upholstery thread because it is very strong, very strong. And if you can't get upholstery thread in a relatively close color that you need, I recommend trying Coats & Clark outdoor thread. I think it's something like that, outdoor. It's made for outdoor furniture. So that's what I'm using, this upholstery thread here. Got a little piece of Fazelle right here that I cut a slit in and pinned up. So that's where my stitch is going to be. That's the wrong side you're looking at right now. All right, so I'm going to thread my needle. Real small needle, so see if I can get it in there. Oh, not quite. There we got it. Now, since I'm using Fazelle, it's a little bit thinner than F3 fleece, which is what I normally use. So if I'm using F3 fleece, I would double up this thread. Since Fazelle is pretty thin, I want the thread to be a little less noticeable, so I'm just going to use single thread. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. Single thread. All right. I'm going to pull you a little closer here. There we go. Okay, so got my thread here. Going to go in. I'm going to whip it 3 times in place just to lock it off so it doesn't unravel. 1, 2, 3. Let's do 4 just for good measure. 4. So don't pull it super tight until that last one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And give it a nice little tug here. And then maybe on the tail too, a nice little tug. And that's pretty secure there. All right. So I've got it secured nicely there. Show you up close. There you go. And I'll cut off this tail in a little bit. And then what I'm going to do is, you see, let me see if I can show you properly. When you're looking at this fabric, I hope you focus, camera. Well, in any case, when you're looking at this fabric, you can see it's got 2 parts. It's got the stretchy backing, and then it's also got the pile, which is the fibers on top. And if you've watched Adam's videos, you probably know this, but just in case, each piece of fabric has 2 layers. So the idea, the overall goal when I'm doing this is to be going into the pile itself as little as possible. As much as possible, I really just want to be going through the backing. So that's the overall goal here. So I'm going to be doing a whip stitch here. So I'll do a few of these whip stitches.
7 years later.
Okay, I just finished the last stitch. There's the stitches right there. And I'm going to do the same thing at the end here that I did at the front, just whipping it 3 or 4 times to lock it off. So 1. It's hard because this fleece curls up and stuff. 2. Yeah, 2 is enough for this demonstration, but I recommend doing at least 3. Alrighty. So we've got our 2 pieces here. So I'm going to cut off the excess from the tail. Cut off the excess thread and then cut off the excess thread on this end too. And that's the result. So that's the back side. And without any seam picking, this is the front side. Now you can still see a little bit of a seam there. It also kind of depends on the lighting. That's what it looks like when it's flattened out. So I'm going to pick it a little bit. Alrighty. Just picking the seams a little bit. Basically just scratching it. When you're working with Fleece, you don't really want to tug up too much. Just kind of scratch back and forth. And I really just go centimeter by centimeter. There may be portions that need a lot of picking. There may be some that don't need any picking. Just go, centimeter by centimeter. And the reason, when I'm working with Fleece, the reason that I only use single thread is just because I found that if you use a whip stitch on Fleece and you double up the thread, it's a lot more noticeable. I do double up the thread when I'm working with F3 fleece, but since this Fleece is quite a bit thinner, I recommend just using single thread. So centimeter by centimeter, scratching, picking, rubbing. That's looking pretty good. Okay, so this is the result. Again, the lighting's not great here, but I'll do my best. There you go. And that's the back side. I know it's a little hard to see on camera, but looking at it right here up close, it's you can just barely tell where the seam is. If I didn't know where it was, I might be able to kind of tell, but more than 2 or 3 feet away, pretty much invisible. Another thing I want to quickly say is when you're working with this stuff, it's a good idea to make real small stitches. I have a ruler right here, and I'd say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'd say between 11 to 13 stitches per inch is probably what I'm doing here. And probably 1/8 of an inch, maybe even a hair less than 1/8 of an inch from the end of the fabric. So again, it's a whip stitch. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. I just thought I'd help you guys out a little bit, make your puppets, just improve the quality of your characters a little bit better. So, thanks. Bye.